Wow!
Okay, so yeah, my topic today is on selling. And when I started Mary Kay 13 years ago, I was terrified to meet new people. I never wanted to walk into a home and hold an appointment or hold a party. I honestly wanted an extra $50 a month, and I figured I could get that by just selling product to my friends and family. Because I fell in love with the product so quickly, I figured they would too. And so I didn't actually have to be a salesperson or a beauty consultant and hold a party. Like that seriously terrified me. And so if you are new, or even if you're a seasoned consultant and that word selling just kind of makes you uncomfortable, I'm going to give you 5 tips today to make you a selling rock star. That's going to give you kind of a new thought. And if you are seasoned, it's like you've heard this before. But give you kind of a new thought on selling to your customers. So the definition of selling is the process of helping someone identify a need or a desire and offering a product or a service that meets that need in exchange for a payment. Yep. It's the process of helping someone identify a need or a desire and offering a product or service that meets that need. So, in simple terms, selling is solving a problem, building trust because you're creating value for that customer. So, solving her problem by building trust because you are creating a value for. And that really is all that selling is. It is helping someone get already want. Like she already has that need. She has that skincare issue or that want or desire to have to my thing was I needed to be an adult and actually have a skincare regimen. When I met Emily, I was like, I don't know what to do. I would buy like a CoverGirl mascara because that's what everybody else was using. But it would take me, I never knew that you could actually use up an entire tube of mascara until I started Mary Kay because that's how little I used it. Um, but we're not being pushy. We're not selling like band candy or like wrapping paper. Who needs to buy expensive wrapping paper from an elementary school kid? We're not pushing that sale. We are fulfilling that need. And so it's not about that transaction. It is not about giving her the product and taking the money. It's about connecting with her and understanding what she wants and showing her how that service, how that product can make her life better. That is truly what selling is. And that is what Mary Kay Ash wanted it to be when she decided over 60 years ago to sell the Mary Kay, to like come up with what products she was going to sell. So, and when you focus on her need, that's when the sale feels natural. That's when you can like lose that uncomfortable, oh, I'm a salesperson. When you are actually helping her and putting her needs first, that's when she gets to feel seen and she buys the products from you because she knows that you are there for her. And honestly, I would rather spend money with a person who actually uses the product, which is what we do, than with a celebrity who is paid to pose with it. And you guys, we are in like the influencer era. We see less and less celebrities that are just advertising holding up a product. We see real people who are using the product and telling us how it is. And that's what we get to be. Like Mary Kay was the first influencer. because like we would go into somebody's house, sit at their table, and tell people how the products are going to make them feel. We can relate and we can connect. So I told you 5 things, 5 tips that will make you a selling rock star. And the first thing is one, use the products. You kind of have on a Mary Kay face. Use a product playground this weekend. And even if it is the wrong formula for your skincare or for your skin, even if it is the wrong color, try it. Now is the time. We get a 50% discount. And guess what? Mary Kay offers a 100% satisfaction guarantee. We can product replace too. Like if it is the wrong formula for you, you can do a product replacement too. Now, I'm not saying that day 2 of being a consultant, you need to open every Mary Kay product. Start at the basis. I do not want to see any one of you in the aisle at Target or Ulta looking for anything that Mary Kay sells. Um, because when I started, I had only been using the skincare for a couple of months. I knew very little about makeup. My go-to was it was kind of like a moonstone colored eyeshadow that my coworker had sold me for my wedding because I figured I needed, and it was Mary Kay, but she never tried to book me for an appointment, never tried to recruit me, nothing. She sold me this eyeshadow because I figured I needed it for my wedding. Um, and then I met Emily like later on. It was like 6 or 7 months after my wedding. So Janine missed out. But yes, yes, I did. Um, I didn't become knowledgeable about the products by any means right away. I just started using the basic time-wise skincare, and I told you that my goal was to earn an extra $50 every month. Well, my first month, I sold like $800 in product, not knowing anything except for about the 5 products that I used myself. I remember meeting a woman and she's like, "Do you have this color, this color, this color?" I'm like, "I don't know. Come to my car and look what I have." So you do not need to be an expert. Honestly, just use the basis yourself. Start from there. I want you to make sure that you have basic skincare, cleanser, moisturizer. Make sure that you have your foundation matched and have a simple, even if it's a dash out the door makeup look. That is the bare minimum that every single one of you should have for Mary Kay, and then you can grow from there. But when you are at a pampering appointment, make sure that you have those products on because people notice what you are wearing and they're making their buying decisions from you. So if you're not using the product, guess what? You're not building their trust. And because if you're not going to use it, then why should she? And I never go overboard on my makeup look when I'm at an appointment. Think of like wedding look. That's kind of what you want to do at a bridal fair. Have like your makeup perfect. But when you're walking into her house and she's just having a girls' night, you do not need to go in with like lash intensity, like fake eyelashes. Have it just natural, trending right now, soft, natural, and wear what's trending, the top selling colors, and that is what's going to sell and what's going to build their trust. So use the products yourself. Like I said, use the product bar. Try things that you wouldn't normally because that's where you might find your favorite product too. And having that knowledge of how something feels, you don't need to know all the ingredients and the research behind every product. But when you can tell her, if you're looking for a thicker, like luxurious cleanser, you're going to want the Time Wise Repair. Or if you're looking for something a little bit lighter, you're going to want, the Time Wise Moisturizer versus the Time Wise Repair Night Cream. Just being able to have that feel of the products in your hands, like that's all she wants to know and how it makes you feel. Number 2, sell the solution, not the product. So one thing I always ask at the beginning of my party is we go around, we do introductions. I say, tell me your name, what you do for a living, and one thing that you'd like to learn about skincare or makeup today. If we're not doing makeup, then I just say, tell me what you want to learn about skincare, because if we're not doing makeup, then I don't want to have to explain to her why her eyeliner is running. One thing you want to learn about skincare today. And if it's a smaller group, like I can generally remember, like, okay, she has blackheads that she wants to get rid of. But if you don't have that memory, or if you're really nervous during the party, take a notebook, jot down notes, jot down her name, jot down like blackheads, jot down dry patches. And just like they're going to respect that because they're not going to find it rude. They're going to respect that because they're going to feel heard. And then you can reflect back on that later on in the day. So always ask like what do you want to learn today? And I say like my goal is to have you learn something today. So that's why I'm asking you. Um so yeah, that makes it more solution based because you are finding her need so that later on you can fill it. Number 3, closing the sale. So um if you struggle with kind of gathering people at the end or actually like getting the sales, like you show everything and then you're like, I'm not getting any sales. Are you properly closing the sale? So at the beginning of the party, I take away the pressure. I say, everyone's skin is different. So at the end of today, I want to chat with each one of you one on one in my executive suite. It's usually like if we're at the kitchen table, it's over in the living room, just to get your opinion and see what you thought about what you tried today. And I say, there's no obligation to buy, but if you find something that you love, I have a full store in my car that you might be able to take it home with you too. So that kind of takes off that pressure that I'm not a salesy person coming in, wanting them to buy every product in the catalog. And it creates that expectation so they know what to expect at the end. But I am going to ask them questions because I want to know what she thought. Um, and then, so that's at the beginning of the party. Then we go through and we try everything. And then during the close, so this is important. Once you go through everything, you need to recap what you went through because there are some times where we get off on tangents and we talk about so many products. Even I can't remember what we've all talked about. You need to like wrap it up at the end and go over the basics of what we went through. And using a set sheet is definitely key. Like if you want to have increase your sales and have solid sales, you need to have a set sheet for them to look at. Doesn't need to be Emily's if you don't want to, but I would suggest like this is what works. I've tried different ones. This definitely like does a trick. This is on our website. Um, don't reinvent the wheel. Like 13 years. Don't reinvent it. Just use it. It works. But I hand each one of these out, like Alicia had said too, um, everyone gets one of these. And then while I'm going through it, I do not go through every single set on here. I go through what we used, which is 90% of the time, the Time Wise Miracle set and the Satin Hands, Satin Lips set. Um, and then usually the dash out the door look if we're doing makeup. I don't go through everything. I always talk about the hydrogel eye patches, so I point those out. You do not need to go through every single with the skincare. I briefly we talked about this. Time Wise is to stop the clock, repair is to turn back the clock, basic is just to keep the clock running. And so like real quick, I want to point out the skincare, but you don't have to point out every single thing. They're going to look at it. But this kind of narrows it down from the catalog, which can be overwhelming. That's what I say. Like the catalog can be overwhelming. This is kind of my most popular sets that people talk about. But don't rely on this. You want to hold up the products as you're talking about them. Kind of let them see it again. Oh, yeah, we did try that. So use a set sheet. Tell them how you take payment because otherwise they're going to be like, I can't buy anything. All I have is my card, and she didn't say anything about that. So I don't have cash, so I can't buy anything. You need to throw it out there. I can take cash card, Venmo, combination of all three. It's called the He Doesn't Know plan. And then I even include, you would be surprised how many people actually use that. So don't be afraid to. Um, did that sound pushy? Did that sound like, oh, okay, well, I have to pay with credit card? No, like, give her the options though, because you know she's thinking about it. And when she's thinking about that, then she's not picking out her favorite products. Number 4, so that was kind of the closing at the table with the whole group. Then you want to meet with everybody one-on-one. And remember, we already told them that at the beginning, so they're expecting it. It's not weird. It's not like you're pulling her away to the bedroom to do God knows what. Like she knows to expect. You are pulling her away to the executive suite to ask her questions about what she tried. So I say these same things no matter what. I say, "Hey, Alicia, thank you so much for coming tonight. Did you have fun?" And they go, "Yeah, yeah." Okay, so how does your face feel? And you have to feel your face because you do that, she's gonna do that. And then she'll be like, "Oh yeah, it feels really soft." And then I ask, "Okay, what was your favorite skincare product that you tried?" Even if we did makeup, I don't care what eyeshadow color that she liked. I want to know what skincare product that she liked. And so then, I listen to her, I take that in, and I go, "Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Can't live without that product." And then this is where you go back to the very beginning of when she talked about her skincare issue, or you have your little notebook that you jotted down in notes. And I say, "Okay, so Alicia, you mentioned that you wanted to help with the dark circles and puffiness under your eyes. And we tried eye cream and how did that feel for you?" And then we talked about the hydrogel eye patches, the cup of coffee for your eyes. Like, what did you think about that? So I I reiterate her issue so she feels heard, she feels seen, and then I match up that product that can help her with that. But keep it conversational. Keep it personal. And again, she feels heard, she feels seen. That's where you're going to get rid of that salesy, uncomfortable feeling. Just have that conversation. And then number 5, upselling with confidence. So once we've talked about the products, once I've matched up those products that she liked, that will help with her issue, and I go, "Okay, what do you want to take home with you today?" And she'll tell me, and you always want to say, "Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Is there anything else?" You don't want to assume like, "Oh, she just gave me 2 things, that's all she wants." Because she's just kind of like processing that list in her head. You keep asking until she says no, and it's okay because Mhm. Um, but yeah, so just keep asking, "Is there anything else? Is there anything else?" And then if she is getting a foundation, make sure that she has all of the tools that she needs. If she's getting a foundation, you need a foundation brush with that. If she is getting a cleanser, make sure that she has a moisturizer to go along with it. It doesn't need to be one that you came from you today. I have it all the time where somebody's like, "I just bought a new moisturizer." That's okay. Go home, use it up, and chances are she's gonna remember, you're gonna follow up after the appointment. When she's starting to run low on that moisturizer, she'll switch. But I don't want to be pushy by making her buy a new moisturizer when she has one at home. That's where the follow up is key. But make sure that she is using a moisturizer with the cleanser because you know how your face feels really dry after the cleanser? She's not going to have that pleasant experience if she's not hydrating after that. She needs to have the basic skincare to get the real feel of it. Um, so yeah, so just kind of think about those products that pair together. If they get an eyeshadow, do you have a brush for that? A cheek color, do you have a brush for that? Mascara, do you need a makeup remover? Think about what you use and the products that are necessary. So, to wrap up, selling isn't about convincing her, it's about connecting and fulfilling that need. And so I have a little kind of a role play activity, and I want you guys to jot down these four things. Um, okay, so this is kind of real basic, like words, but it's what I went over. So we're going to do a role play. You're going to just pair up with the person next to you, and we are going to kind of do a quick role play of a one on one consult where you're hearing her issue and fulfilling that need. And so when you are the consultant, you're going to do four different things, like four main things when you are in that one on one. Number one, you're going to listen to her and you're going to repeat her issue back to her. And that's where, if you remember it from the beginning, like it's where you're really going to build that trust, and her confidence is you're going to gain that confidence because she's like, oh, you remember what I said like half hour ago. That's kind of cool. Listen and repeat it back to her. So you mentioned that your skin feels dry and tight, especially in the winter. I totally get it. We live in Minnesota. Repeat it back. She feels heard. Number two, recommend a product or a set that then will help with that need. So, our time wise set is great with the for the drier skin, giving that extra hydration boost. Um, and we have, clinical solution boosters that kind of help build and strengthen that moisture barrier too. But you strengthen that moisture barrier, but your skin still feels soft and radiant. So recommend that product. That's number two. Number three, add the why and the wow. So I like this with the hydrogel eye patches. It's like a cup of coffee for your eyes. You put them on in the morning while you're drinking your coffee, and after 20 minutes, your eyes are awake. They're brighter and that puffiness has gone down. It's amazing. Like that's where you having that how does this product feel adds to that wow. So add the why, how it's going to help her, and the wow of how it's going to make her feel. And then number four is when you do that selling, offer the upgrade or the add on. So if you want even more of a hydration boost, if like what you're doing, you still need a little bit more, then we have the intense moisturizing cream. It locks in moisture and it's like a Dairy Queen blizzard. It's so thick and fabulous. So listen and repeat back, recommend the product that fits that need, add the why and the wow, and then offer the upgrade or the upsell add-on.
So a couple things I've just heard rumblings about that I want to address. Um, from several of you that you don't sell stuff out here. Okay? You don't sell these set specials really, or you haven't been. It's because you gotta like you gotta it's not just like, oh yeah, okay, we have these sets and like Kate, even just exactly how Kate went through it. This is how I do it, okay? Um, they have catalogs. I make the catalog sound like the worst thing in the world. Okay. So let's pretend it's the end of my party. So if you guys want to purchase things today, a product in my car, you can get it from me. I take cash, check, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Zelle, take everything, blah, blah, blah. Now just so you know, you can get anything individually out of the catalog, but I'm just gonna warn you, it's really confusing because let's face it, it is. The beginning of the catalog is kind of magazine-ish, so you're like searching for products and reading about them. So if you want to see an individual list, Flip to the back, it has all the individual stuff. Okay, so this is like, ew. Like, I mean, if you want to, go there. But my best deals, how many of these started that way? My best deals are on this sheet. So I want to go through these with you because a lot of my best deals are on this sheet from the things that we did today. And then I go through specifically the sets that we did today. And if you're thinking you liked a lot today, the best deals, I say it 4 or 5 times, are up here. You can choose any 4 sets for $199. Do you actually like say these words? 4 sets for $199. You save almost $100. 6 for $299 or 8 for $399. So if you're thinking you want a lot of things, you're going to save the most money doing this if that's the route you want to go. Otherwise, you can look in here too. So if you're not selling in sets, it's because you're not talking about your best deals. You're just like, oh, here's a sheet with stuff on it, right? Best deals. Okay. And honestly, you do save a lot of money. Like, I'm not lying. Like, you save a lot of money. I know. Yeah, right. Right. The second thing is, how do you get people to meet with you individually? Yeah. I heard Jackie say it, so I wanted to address this too. So this is where confidence comes in. Because when you're at the beginning of the party, you're like, this is how it's going tonight, ladies. This is not how you word it. But in your mind, you've got this like energy of like, this is how it's going to go. Right. And so, today I'm going to teach you about skincare. We're going to do a little dash out the door makeup look. And then when we're done, I'm going to meet with you in Deb's living room in the executive suite. Even if I'd say this at the beginning, even if you don't want to purchase anything, I still want to meet with you to see what you enjoyed. Maybe you have skin questions you want to ask me, not in front of all of your friends. Ha ha ha. And if you want me to help you create a customized skincare routine, I would love to take that time to do that with you. You really make the individual meeting not about buying, but about how that's their like one-on-one time with you to like customize something specifically for them. And so it's more of a value-based situation than it is like, I'm just going to meet with you because I want you to buy something for me. I say, even if you don't want to buy anything, you might have questions. She might want to talk about some options. Maybe she can't purchase that day, but she can purchase in 2 days or in a week or whatever. So it's the value you create in that situation. And then you reiterate it at the end too. Like, I'm going to meet with you over here. And you actually have to go over there. Otherwise, if you stay where they're at, they're going to order there. So when the party's done, I'll take the girl that's most excited. I'll say, Jackie, why don't you come meet with me? And then Jackie follows you, right? And then that sets the precedent for the rest of the people. Now, is every party I do, they meet with me individually? Nope. Sometimes it's still just like, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going with it, whatever. Like, know when to not beat yourself up, but make sure that you're kind of doing those things and confidently declare how it's going to be because it's your deal.